Dawn Zoldi is a U.S. Air Force veteran. She's also the founder and CEO of P3 Tech Consulting, and she joins me now from Colorado Springs. Thanks so much for being here with us. So first of all, what more can you tell us about the drone itself and how it was meant to disrupt the grid?
Well, from what we understand, it had a bunch of copper wires hanging from it, and the idea, I believe, was to cause a short circuit and damage to the transformers and distribution lines. So it was a DJI Mavic 2 drone, I believe, as well.
That's a sort of a consumer type drone, a small drone, something you could pick up for, you know, a couple of $1,000s maybe?
Absolutely. Super cheap, very common. In fact, DJI basically has a corner on about 70% of the commercial market, and about 90% of public safety agencies use those drones.
And some of the details I was seeing, you know, the people responsible had sort of tried to hide any, you know, individual characteristics or anything that could be sort of traced back to them. I mean, what does that tell you?
Well, look, they're clearly trying to do something nefarious here, right? So this is a problem, Kim, and this is really what I would say the tip of the iceberg.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, the U.S. government says it's the first attack on infrastructure on U.S. soil. To some, I mean, the surprise isn't that it happened. The surprise is that it took so long. I mean, why hasn't it been more common? Because, as you say, you know, it's cheap. I mean, it's a relatively easy way to inflict a lot of damage without getting traced, and there's a low barrier to entry here. As I say, it's you know, not very expensive and easy to operate.
Absolutely. What I'd say to that is we don't know what we don't know. I mean, the only reason why we know about this Pennsylvania incident is because it crashed and we figured it out after the fact. The real problem here is the fact that we're not really investing in the United States in the infrastructure that will detect these threats. And so these things can be happening, right? And we just don't know.
So you're saying that, yeah, this could maybe not be the first incident. It's just the first one that we're hearing about, right? The possibilities here are frightening. I mean, if my figures are right, there's about 1.5 million recreational drones in the U.S., some 5 million drones sold worldwide, and it doesn't take much imagination to think of, you know, other ways that they could be even more harmful if they were armed with guns or bombs. So with all of that, I mean, you know, what keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is there's twofold things. Look, there are definitely bad actors out there, and they're going to use this tool as they see fit. We've seen it not just in Pennsylvania here in the homeland, but we've seen it overseas routinely. And so what keeps me up is this fact that we in the United States have not invested in the infrastructure to detect this. We know it's a problem, right? Because Congress directed the FAA to, in Section 2209 of the 2016 Reauthorization Act, to create a program where critical infrastructure can request basically a bubble over their facility, right? A no-fly zone essentially over their facility. So Congress is aware of this problem, but what I would say to that is we haven't invested, that was an unfunded mandate for the FAA. There's no money behind that. So that hasn't been implemented in their defense, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing that keeps me up at night is, let's just take the Pennsylvania example as one, you know, situation. Not only did we not detect it until it crashed, but let's just assume law enforcement had detected it, right? Because they're going to be the first ones on the ground to see something like this. The problem is they don't even have the authorities to do anything about it. There's only five or six federal agencies that have the authority to actually mitigate the threat once we detect it. Those are the things that keep me up at night.
Listen, thank you so much for being here with us, Dawn Zoldi. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.